Welcome to the virtual presentation of Junior Achievement. My name is Deirdre Johnson. I have been a Junior Achievement volunteer for several years, and assisting me will be my daughter, Lauren.
Hi, as she said, I'm Lauren and I'm her daughter.
Okay. So what we are going to do today is before we begin the lesson, I am Senior Director of Student Development at Warwick Community College. And I basically like to say my job is one of, most of you guys have a dean of students, so I deal with a lot of student issues. And in my job, communication is very important. And today we are going to discuss workplace communication. And communication is very important for the workplace to be successful. We are going to discuss how do you say things, workplace topics, and solving problems. So, what we are going to do, first of all, we are going to start off. I'm going to ask Lauren, what are some places where you visited recently, Lauren?
Um, like restaurants, fast food places, Bath and Body Works. I work there, so that's a place I spend most of my time.
Okay, so we all know that communication is very important in with the workers and the customers in these businesses. For example, when you walk into a restaurant or you walk into a retail, one of the first thing is that they usually ask you, may I help you? So, or if you're going to a fast food restaurant, for example, if you're going to McDonald's and you happen to order a burger, most of the times they will say, would you like fries or would you like a drink? And they'll also let you know how much your items cost. So, for example, I want to discuss what are some ways that is positive and professional in the workplace, as well as what is some ways that is not professional. For example, if I were to walk into a place of business, there are some ways that you can say, may I help you, professional, and there are some ways that you can say it unprofessional. And I am going to ask Lauren to give me an example, a negative example of someone saying, may I help you, unprofessional. For example, I am going to a retail store and I walk in and Lauren is employed at the retail store. Lauren, can you share with us what is an unprofessional way to ask a customer, may you help them?
Well, I guess saying like, what do you want? Something like that, kind of the tone, kind of a negative tone, saying like, what do you want?
Okay. So we all know that, when you are a professional, some things that you want to make sure is that you are polite. You're using proper grammar. You don't use slangs. You don't use bad language, and you don't raise your voice. Because if we were to experience this, what would you do, Lauren, if, for example, you were at McDonald's and you wanted to order, and I would say, can you hurry up and order your food because I'm going on break? How would that make you feel?
Probably a bit annoyed. I would just leave,
Okay.
probably go somewhere else.
Okay. And that's what, we have to look at going in a workplace is how do you say things? And you have to learn to say things very proper. Okay. So also, we are going to talk about the tone, the loudness, the pitch, and the tone in your voice. For example, what does loudness, pitch, or the tone in your voice suggest about the content you're saying? When you're whispering in the workplace, sometimes that can what? Denote what? You have a secret. And it can also make a worker feel uncomfortable if you're whispering, because that can lead to them thinking that you are possibly talking about them. And we always want to remain professional in the workplace. So What I want you to do at this time is we are going to practice professional tone in the workplace, and I am going to give you some examples. So, what I'm going to do is I am going to give Lauren a couple of statements where she is going to give examples of what it is to be professional in the workplace. So if you can, Lauren, read these statements for me in a professional manner.
Ask for a volunteer to read. Wrong one. Okay. Thank you for coming in today. I'm here to help you in any way you need.
Okay, so you can tell in this that Lauren smiled. She was very professional. She was able to make you feel welcome. Also, I am going to also have her to read another statement, and this statement is here.
I'll be giving you a flu shot today, but don't worry, it won't hurt.
Okay, so that is a level of professionalism. What would not be professional is, look, I need to give you this flu shot today, and I don't care if it hurts or not. I just need to hurry up. So in those cases, that tone was very negative, but the tone in which Lauren presented, it was very soothing, because most of you probably know that when you go to the doctor and you have to receive a shot, that is not something that we are very enthusiastic about doing. So, and also I am going to ask Lauren to read another statement in a positive and professional manner, and I will also give you an example of something that would be negative.
I'm sorry, but the boss has given strict orders that you are not permitted to enter. I'm going to have to ask you to leave.
Okay. So that way you can see, she displayed professional tone. Now, unprofessional tone would be, look, the boss doesn't want you here. You need to leave. No questions answered. Don't ask me any question. Just get out. That is not something that you want to display, especially when you are in a customer service role. And here's another example that we will give you in regards to working in the restaurant business, the food business.
Two of you work at a casual restaurant. Think about one in your town. The other two of you are customers, one in the restaurant and one on the phone.
Okay, so Lauren, if you can give me an example of you answering a call, answer the phone at a restaurant, customer number one wants to book a reservation for a birthday party. So I would like for you to give me an example. We're going to do some role playing. I'm going to be the person calling the restaurant, and you'll be the person that is answering the phone. Okay, ready? Okay. Ring, ring.
Hello, this is Lauren's restaurant.
Hi, Lauren's restaurant. This is Deirdre. I am trying to book, I am celebrating my daughter's birthday party, and we are looking to make a reservations for 8 to celebrate it. Can you actually accommodate us for this?
Yes, ma'am. What day and what time?
Okay, we were looking at the 4th of July at about 5 p.m. Would that work for you?
Yes, ma'am. We'll see you there.
Okay, so she's given us an example of a positive and professional tone. Now we are going to display another scenario that's negative. So, ring, ring.
Hello, Lauren's restaurant.
Hi, I would like to make reservations for a party of 8. My daughter is selling her birthday, and we love your restaurant, and we would like to come and celebrate.
We already have reservations for that day.
Well, ma'am, I didn't give you my date yet, so.
You said the 4th of July.
Okay, sorry, ma'am. Is there any possible way that you'll be able to fit us?
No.
Okay. Well, it's, can you give me a call if anyone will cancel?
Sure.
Okay. Is there like There's no place in the restaurant that you could possibly seat us?
No, we're all booked.
Okay. What about if we possibly change the time?
We're booked throughout the whole day. It's a holiday.
Okay. Will you, if anything changes, will you take my number?
Sure. What's your number?
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Bye.
Okay. So as you can see, Lauren's tone was very dry, very, as a matter of fact, she was not willing to work with me. And from there, if you were to experience this, you most likely would possibly change your reservations. So those are some things that we want to say. Communication is very important in the workplace. And we are going to move on to uh, another series that we would like to talk about as far as workplace topics in the workplace. Okay. So we also know that in the workplace, there are some things that should not be discussed. You know, in a workplace, you're offering your time, your effort, and skills in exchange for money. You're not there to talk about your personal life. Even if you become friendly with your coworkers, you're on the clock, meaning at work, you need to keep subjects professional. For example, you know, can you think of topics, Lauren, that are not appropriate to discuss in the workplace?
Um, like your personal problems or habits, like staying out or having like personal fights, politics, religion, money, like career aspirations, like what you kind of want to do next, stuff like that.
Because what it says is gossip in a workplace, as we know, it can take a lot of time and your energy. And before you know it, you spend all this time on gossip in the workplace. And in most cases, it's probably talking about a coworker. We all know that we do share different political views, and sometimes it can become a great debate and it can lead to unprofessional activities, as well as we should not discuss how much your salaries that you're making, because sometimes the individual may not be making the same salary that you are. So it's very important to not discuss money in the workplace, as well as your current career aspiration. Because if you're talking about leaving an organization, then your commitment will be at a low level. And that is something that you don't want to discuss in the workplace. So we are going to share with you some ways that you can respond if a coworker brings up a topic that is not appropriate in the workplace. Okay. For example, I will give you this example that I would like for Lauren to address if I am bringing in the workplace. Okay. Hey, Lauren, did you hear that Susie's husband has filed for a divorce from her?
I'm sorry to hear that, but I can't get into that right now.
Okay, so that says that Lauren has ended the conversation. Okay, for example, Lauren, did you know that Susie is making more money than Janet and they're doing the same job?
Um, I make it a point not to discuss that subject at work.
Okay, so we all know that these are examples of things that you should not discuss at work. For example, if you're telling someone you can't talk about this subject they want to discuss, it will be accepted more easily if you stay positive and professional and not annoyed and angry. And that is something that Lauren just displayed, that she just turned the subject around and would not entertain it. Okay. And let's talk about what was the most effective ways of changing the subject away from inappropriate topics. So if you want to discuss this, Lauren, how can you change the subject and not talk about inappropriate topics in the workplace? What are some things that you can possibly do?
Pointing out that they are here to do work, not talk about personal subjects, asking a coworker for help, and offering to talk about subjects outside of work hours.
Okay, and that's very important to not get distracted and to make sure you are talking about appropriate work topics, because before you know it, the gossip train can start, and you have spent hours of your day without being productive.